Hi, I'm Mark Bierke and welcome to Tabula, where you can find simple lessons for the home cook. Have you ever oversalted a dish and wondered, how am I going to get out of this one? I have too. I looked online and I saw a really popular myth circulating around that said to put a potato into the dish that you're cooking and then that'll absorb the salt and then you can just throw that potato away. The problem with this logic is that if you have a dish that has, liquid in there and you can put a potato in it, like a stew or a soup or a sauce or something like that, yeah, of course, the potato will soak up some of that liquid that has salt in it, and then you can throw it away, but there's still a bunch of salty liquid left. You're not magically extracting salt with the potato. It doesn't have a discerning capability to not drink up water and just take in salt and just somehow vacuum up all the salt. So that just doesn't work. But what you can do is add a flavor from the other end of the flavor spectrum. So salt is over here. We can counterbalance that with something that's acidic. So you can add lemon juice, vinegar, etc. You can also counterbalance it with sweetness. It interacts with our taste buds and kind of counterbalances the salt that's there. So you can add things like honey, syrup, anything else that's kind of appropriate to your dish. So you have to use your own discernment to see what makes sense for this dish. If you're making like a marinara and it's too salty, don't put chocolate syrup in it. That's not going to work. So just use your discernment and make sure that it makes sense. It's going to be a little bit of trial and error. Another thing that you can do is if you have any more of that thing on hand that's kind of the base, like if it's a marinara, if you have more tomatoes, that would be a great way to go about it, is add more tomatoes. If it's a big pot of stew, if you have some, rice or something in there, add more rice. That'll help. It'll just help to kind of mute down and deconcentrate how much salt is in there. Of course, the best thing that you can do is just to be kind of careful as you salt along the way. The number one way that I like to do this is by using Diamond Crystal kosher salt. The advantage to this salt is that it's a natural product, doesn't have anything added to it, and it's less salty per gram than table salt is, so there's a much wider margin for error. I like to salt by hand and just do a little bit as I go. Taste the food as you go. That's going to be the number one preventative measure so that you don't end up oversalting your food in the future. So today's simple tip is just to not oversalt your food if you can help it, and if you do, add something sweet or sour to counterbalance.